Good evening, traders. This is Gabe from Enhanced Investors coming at you again with another highlight play, this time on SPX or the S&P 500, alerted by Bennett. He's our options expert here at Enhanced Investors, and really 969% is a pretty regular thing for Bennett and his calls on options. We've been all over the S&P 500 and calling the rejections and the supports off of moving averages, spot on, and it's created many of these massive profit opportunities. This one's kind of a special scenario because it involved a pretty significant media catalyst, if you will, and it was a super volatile time for the market. And so what Bennett did was approach this with a 2630 put and a 2680 call to leverage one against the other in a strangle strategy that when we take a look at the chart, the entry was alerted right in this region for those calls and puts. And if the S&P continued down from here, the puts would increase in value. You could cut the calls and ultimately profit from your puts. But what ended up happening was the S&P 500 rallied. We saw a huge upside in a short amount of time, and the calls tremendously went up in value. We were able to cut the puts early and make really nice profits on this trade early on. So what actually ended up happening right here at 11:30 Pacific Standard Time was President Trump went live and announced the index of the trade agreement with Iran, which the market reacted very bullish because we basically cut our economic ties to Iran, which initially is good for our economy, and we've been seeing this massive upside move here. And what ended up happening, Bennett, being the smart trader that he is, was he woke up Wednesday morning, Wednesday, May 9th, and saw that his calls were up 200% because of this massive gap up that had happened after hours. And he announced his profit taking at this point, because when you get 200% profits, you're going to take them. And what ended up happening, let's zoom out real quick. Take a note of this 15-minute red candle here, though, testing this resistance line. We're going to zoom out to the daily, adjust our chart here. So as you can see, this is our greater downtrend resistance on this really what appeared to be a massive bull flag forming for the S&P 500 on the daily chart. And you see this greater downtrend resistance. Well, when we go back to the 15, we're back on our 15-minute chart here. That's this resistance line right here. And what ended up happening was the S&P 500 tried to break back into that channel, but found an awesome support at this previous resistance, had a huge bounce, and continued on this very bullish move through the rest of the day. And those calls ended up reaching a high of 969% profits for those that had held. And something that we kind of recommend or encourage as a good practice is when you find yourself up 200% and maybe you have multiple contracts, to close majority of the position, not only to minimize risk if things were to go down from this point, but in this kind of situation to really maximize potential profits that could occur. Because if you had one or two more contracts, you really could have doubled your profit even more after waking up from doubling your money. So really an excellent trade all around. We're really watching the S&P 500 close, because these moves are creating tons of opportunity for profit. Volatility is your friend in this kind of market, especially when trading options, and we're definitely taking full advantage of it. So this is your highlight play for today, alerted by Bennett. Huge profits in the options realm. It's really exciting stuff, and it's why I trade them myself. So this is Gabe from Enhanced Investors, signing out.